Hey fellow explorers, today I'm coming to you from a different vantage point than usual. I'm not on land, I'm in the water. We're going to be exploring one of Southern California's most expensive cities, Newport Beach by Kayak. I'm going to take you around and show you all of the expensive houses and expensive yachts around the most expensive part of Newport Beach, Balboa Island. Alright, so let's get going. Alright, so first things first, where did I get this kayak from? I got this kayak from the Southwind Kayak Rentals. It is right under Pacific Coast Highway right here. This is starting off on the ride, $17.25. They rent these per hour. There is free parking underneath the bridge. They have restrooms out in the parking lot as you come in, so you do need to ask them for a key if you need to use those. They get you in a kayak, they get you a paddle, and then you head out on your way. Now from this spot, there's two main ways you can go. You can go that way inland from PCH into the back bay. That is a nature preserve, and if you're not super comfortable kayaking around a lot of people and boats, then that's a good place to go. It's much more quiet that way. We're gonna head out into the Newport Bay proper this way to Balboa Island with the expensive yachts and things like that. So choose your poison. The way we're gonna go in this video is about a 3.5 mile kayak. So just getting started around here. There's a Scuba Duba over there. They've even got their phone number on the boat. That's a lot of fun. There's also kind of a cool like seafood market over here. I don't know, this place doesn't look super open, so I don't know if they actually ever sell seafood. Okay, all right, let's go head out into the Newport Harbor. I've got a camera on the front of my kayak over here, so I'm gonna switch between this one and that one as we're getting going, just to kind of like speed up between areas. You'll see the time lapse from the front GoPro. And I've got some other people out here on the water with me today. I mean, we're not in the group, but they're at the water at the same time. We've got someone on stand-up paddleboard, which is pretty popular. A kayak with a canoe. He's just doing a single paddle. And then back this way, there was someone doing some fishing off their kayak. All right, so we're not gonna go straight out this way. We're gonna come back that way. We're gonna turn left at this first channel over here and go through the area with a lot of the big yachts and boats. Many of these houses around here have their own private boat dock, so it is a fancy area to live. Oh, and we're right in the flight path of John Wayne Airport too, so we'll see some planes taking off as we go. Okay, so continuing straight would take us out to the sea. We're gonna take a left right here. As you see, this little kind of inflatable boat is going into this small canal over on the side. All right, so as we go through this channel, on this side, these boats, they're just part of a marina, but on this side, these boats, actually these docks are in front of these houses. So these docks are private docks for each one of these houses. This little boat right here, this is called a Duffy. This is the quintessential Newport Beach kind of pleasure boat to take out on the harbor. People have got their jet skis out here. They've got their big boats too. The Duffy, if you're so inclined, you can rent these to take out on the bay. They are generally covered with kind of a little awning and some plastic on the side. So great thing to maybe have a lunch out on the bay. You will also find this area to have a lot of American flags. Definitely, I feel like people that can afford these houses are living the the American dream. All right, now we're coming up on our first bridge that we're going through. Well, our first one that isn't Pacific Coast Highway. You can see this can get pretty tall. If you're in a big boat, you might not be able to make it through here through high tide, but if you're in a kayak, you can probably make it through this on any tide. Just do watch your head if it's a really high tide. All right, as we're out on the other side of the bridge, definitely best time to come here to do this is in the morning. Generally, the water is much glassier in the morning and is much choppier as you go towards the afternoon. My favorite season, September. We call it local summer. The water's still warm and all the tourists have gone away. I've pretty much got this whole channel all to myself. But that's also why I like this inside kind of channel, because it's really peaceful back here. One of the biggest things about having a boat is maintaining a boat, and we've got to see some boat maintenance, boat washing going on here. These boats, they don't look shabby at all. They all look very well maintained. Now, this part of the channel, we've got houses on both sides. This side to the left of me, this is the land side, Pacific Coast Highway. This is actually a little island in the middle of the water right over here. So there's tons of little islands, not the main one we're going to. We're making our way to Balboa Island. But even these channels, if you're gonna come and do this, worthwhile to pay attention, because these big boats, they do move occasionally, and you don't want them to sneak up on you. We've got some more Duffys over here, and as you can see, American flags and patriotic attire decked out on many of these houses. On the Little Miss Chris over there too. That island is Linda Isle. How do I know that? Because it's It's on the boat right there. I knew that, but when you're going around here, like sometimes things look different from the water than they do from the land. So thank you for boat for helping remind me. Oh, and over here we've got some construction going on. You know, people buy these little houses that were built in the 1920s or 30s, these little cottages. Nobody wanted this land when it was originally being built out, and you know, just sand pits to build up their huge mansions. Well, on a small piece of property. So from that house under construction, which I know isn't a good landmark because it won't be under construction for a long time, you have an intersection choice. You can go to the left, which is the direction we're gonna go, or you could go out to the right, which would take you out to the big harbor. We've also got some stand-up paddlers that are here floating around, enjoying the calm day. This brings us to our second bridge of the journey that we're going under. You can see cars actually go over these bridges. They've got a little buoy here to remind you this is a shallow area, not a big deal in the kayak. And this is another island on the right, but still not the Balboa Island that we're getting to. And I've got my first real boat passing me right here. It's it's a little noisy boat right over here, so I can hear it coming as we come under this bridge. If it's a hot day, these bridges make some nice shade to just get out and cool off in. So just a little bit past that bridge, we're coming to our next intersection. To the right takes you out into the big bay. We're not going that way, we're gonna go left. This is the Balboa Island that we're looking for, which turns out probably not to be actually the most expensive real estate. The most expensive real estate is probably on these smaller private islands. But you know, the houses that don't have their own docks like these have their own little beach in front of it. And I don't know, I personally would probably take the sandy beach over my own dock, but it would be nice to have a little Duffy. And there's another plane going overhead. What about you? If you lived here, would you take Sandy Beach or would you take private boat dock? Going a little further towards Balboa Island, there's a buoy here to let us know this is a 5-mile-per-hour zone, no wake, not a problem in the kayak. I'm pretty sure not actually exceeding that speed. And here we also see some boats that are anchored out in the middle of this channel. It's starting to get choppier here because, well, we got a little bit more open water. That's the nice part about those protected canals, is the water stays more calm in them. Oh, and it's funny, this little dock right here, this apparently is all Duffy parking because these houses don't have their own private docks. They must have gotten together and said, okay, we'll make a few for the community, but because they're small, you can only park Duffys here. And we've got some more boat service going on. J. Abalos Yacht Service, if you want to wash down, paint, touch up, teak, or waxing, full details too. At this little anchoring area, there's no boat, but there's a kayak. That must be how they got to their boat when they were taking it out for a ride. All right, so as we come through this channel here, and you can hear another plane coming overhead, on the right is all Balboa Island, on the left is towards Pacific Coast Highway. We're coming up to the bridge that goes into Balboa Island. There's only one bridge to get you into this island. It is a true island. There's also a ferry that you can take from here, a car ferry that we're gonna see in just a little bit. But Balboa Island, also great if you're not kayaking, great to go out and walk around the island. There's a sidewalk that rings the whole island. Super great to visit for Halloween and for Christmas. They have amazing Halloween and Christmas decorations. Probably the best in Orange County. And in addition to all the private docks, they do have some public ones too. You can see this is one of the public docks right here. So if you've got a boat and you want to land, or if you're in a kayak, you could just land up on the beach and walk around a little bit, but there are a few public docks around. Balboa Island is also really popular for their Christmas boat parade, where they've got tons of boats that decorate and run around the harbor. It's gonna be really busy. I would avoid those days on a kayak if you weren't super experienced. It's also cool to see the wildlife around here. We see a cool bird right there. Is that a heron, maybe? I think. I am not a birdist, an audubonist. Is that what a bird is? But I do enjoy looking at them. And look at this, next to the big boat. Is that a boat? It's a gigantic inflatable thing. I'm sure that's a lot of fun to ride around, towed on the back of that big boy. And as we head under the Balboa Island Bridge, we've got a couple of stand-up paddleboarders right here. This bridge is Jamboree. It runs quite a long way from Irvine all the way here to Newport Beach onto the peninsula, named Jamboree because there were tens of thousands of Boy Scouts back in the day that went along this road when it was a dirt trail to camp out on Balboa Island before all the houses were here. And now here we are going under the bridge to Balboa Island. I've driven this bridge hundreds of times, but this is my first time being underneath it. just another cool place to be. Another spot that always has tons of American flags leading to this island. And if you come to Balboa Island, Jamboree turns into Main Street on Balboa Island. Tons of great shops to eat and dine at there. Actually, not that many restaurants, mostly shops. But what you should eat here is you should get the Balboa Bar and the frozen banana. Those are their two big dessert specialties on Balboa Island. Oh, and if you want to see it from land, yes, I have a whole video showing you all those things to do on Balboa Island. Right after the bridge, you've got a decision to make. If you're feeling frisky and fresh, you can go straight and you can go onwards for more paddling. If you're feeling like you want to start your halfway point and start to head back, then turn right here. This is where I'm going to go back. This separates Balboa Island proper from Little Balboa Island, and there's this cool canal that goes through here. This is probably my favorite part, I think, on this whole ride. I enjoy it by land, and so I also really enjoy it by sea. But if you really feel fresh, you can go all the way out to the ocean if you want to, but we're going to go through this canal. Oh, and its proper name, Channel. We're going to go through the channel here. It says the channel is closed to through traffic June 1st to September 15th, so no big boats or even small boats, but kayaks are okay to go through here. Being in this channel, just another really peaceful spot. What I love about Balboa Island is that although the houses are expensive, it's expensive real estate, it's small, it's quaint, it doesn't feel ostentatious, the houses aren't behind gates, and this canal, well, there is some construction going on, so in the construction noise, but this is the calmest water in the bay on the whole trip because it's really protected in here. I also have little docks on these houses. Now, the water doesn't go up high enough for them to really have a boat in front of their dock, but I love how they've all made them into like little seating areas and also places to put their stand-up paddle boards and their kayaks. But you can see in this channel what some of the original houses used to look like. Just these old school classic cottages. I mean, one-story craftsman beach cottages. Again, this was not a popular place to live, but what really put it on the map, the red car, which was like the public transportation streetcar from Los Angeles, ran all the way here down to Newport Beach, and that's what really started the development boom in this area. Oh, and I know why I've been calling this canal. The signs say Grand Canal right there. The street signs that if you're walking around, Grand Canal right there, Grand Canal right there. There's sidewalks on both sides. Turns out I've actually walked on both those sidewalks. Brings us to our next bridge. This bridge connects Balboa Island to Little Balboa Island. It's a car bridge. If you find yourself here on a busy day going to Balboa Island and you can't park because it's too busy, try taking this bridge over to Little Balboa Island. You might have some better luck with parking. Oh, my hand's in the shot too. All right, ignore that. I've probably been in a few shots, huh? All right, as we come out the end of the Grand Canal, we see some other grand docks right here with the American flag on it. This brings us out to the big Newport Harbor here. If you go left, you'll go to the ocean. Straight ahead is the Balboa Peninsula, where the Balboa Fun Zone is, but we're gonna go ahead and turn right to start heading back to our kayak rental spot. And it definitely gets much choppier out here because this is also more open and exposed to the wind. Also, this can be quite busy in the weekends and on summer days with lots of boats moving around, so keep your wits about you. Not right now, but I have seen lots of boats moving around on this harbor. Oh, and here's an interesting sight. Looks like they're doing some construction or repair work in the harbor, like a construction barge right there. All right, first time seeing that here. Definitely much choppier here. You can see those flags are flying quite a bit, but here are a few things on the Balboa Peninsula side. This building right here is where the Catalina ferries go from, so you can take a ferry from here in Newport Beach to Catalina Island. There's also the Balboa Fun Zone where they've got like a Ferris wheel and some other rides that are over there. Lots of the harbor tours also go out that way. Oh, and you can see just with the wind blowing on my kayak, it's blowing me into the sand. It was definitely much easier to to paddle on those protected canals on the inland side of Balboa Island. Now, something else over here that's pretty cool that I said I would show you is the Balboa Island ferry. Let me get a little closer and show you what I was talking about earlier. I guess right out here, there are two ferries coming from either side. The one on the right here is coming from Balboa Island. This one's coming from the Balboa Peninsula. On these ferries, they take cars, they take bicycles, they take people. It's just a few dollars to ride, and it's one of the funnest things to do here, especially if you can get your car right on the front, because then it actually feels like you're like boating with your car. Oh, and I guess if you were hungry, right around this Balboa Island ferry, there's a few kind of sandy beach areas here on Balboa Island. There's like a mini mart, there's a fruit stand, and here there's even a place where you can get marine fuel. You wouldn't need it for your kayak, but if you need to fuel up on your boat, you can right there. You can also get beer, ice, and bait there too. Oh, and there's public restrooms just right behind the ferry stop too, if you need to relieve yourself. So I checked this kayak out about an hour and a half ago. I'm trying to keep this to budget, so a 2-hour ride. So I'm gonna book it back to underneath Pacific Coast Highway where we got the kayak, just show you the scenic shots along the way. There is one turn you gotta pay attention for. It's the turn to go to the right to go inland, but if you're looking for it, it's just the big canal, and you'll be able to see the biggest bridge, the one that's Pacific Coast Highway, over that channel. I'm paddling along here, almost at the turn to go towards Pacific Coast Highway. I want to show you a couple of these houses right here. I mean, this looks like an Italian mansion on the water, this Italian villa. Super beautiful, like all the architecture of these houses, all different. This one looks like some classic kind of like German house. This one has its own lighthouse. I mean, if you're an architecture buff nerd or just a dreamer who's hoping to win the California lottery someday, you can admire. And right here in this big, vast, open area of the bay, this is where we make our turn to the right to get back to Pacific Coast Highway and that bridge. These houses over here, kind of the landmarks, look like another Italian Bellagio-looking villa. If you went that way, that would take us back into those interior canals. So we're going that way. I can also hear Pacific Coast Highway in the distance. I can hear the motorcycles and the expensive luxury cars, the Lamborghinis and Ferraris that people drive around here that's coaxing me towards land. Well, all right, here we are back to land under the bridge. How did I do? Just under 2 hours. Well, fellow explorers, if you want to see what it looks like renting from the Newport Aquatic Center, going into the nature preserve area of the Back Bay and the Newport Dunes Resort, check out that video. I'll put a link to it right here. And if you want to see more things to do on Balboa Island, you can check out this video right here, or dive into my whole Orange County playlist with tons of videos on this great part of Southern California. Fellow explorers, as usual, I won't say goodbye because I'll see you in the next video.